It was a somber evening, the air thick with a palpable sense of foreboding as I descended into the abandoned asylum's basement. The clock on the wall stubbornly refused to announce the time, leaving the realm beneath the surface in a perpetual state of eerie darkness. The descent into the bowels of the asylum was a journey through dilapidated hallways, the crumbling walls bearing the scars of a tumultuous past. The flickering light above cast erratic shadows that seemed to dance to a sinister tune. The air hung heavy with the weight of forgotten memories and unspeakable horrors. My reason for being there was both a morbid curiosity and a quest for answers. The asylum, shrouded in urban legends and whispered tales of madness, beckoned me like a siren. I sought the truth that eluded the records, the untold stories that lingered within the decaying walls. As I traversed the dimly lit corridors, the air grew colder and the silence more oppressive. The occasional creak of a floorboard echoed like a mournful sigh, amplifying the desolation that clung to the atmosphere. It was then that I first sensed an otherworldly presence, a subtle shift in the air as if unseen eyes followed my every move. The flickering light played tricks on my perception, casting distorted shadows that seemed to take on a life of their own. Whispers, too soft to discern, wrapped around me like tendrils of a ghostly embrace. The shadows inched closer, their forms morphing into grotesque shapes that defied logic. In the suffocating darkness, I felt an icy breath against the back of my neck. The air became charged with an unseen energy, and a voice, haunting and disembodied, reverberated through the desolation. "You shouldn't have come here," it warned, each word dripping with a chilling finality. Fear, like a vice, gripped my heart as I stood paralyzed in the cold embrace of the basement's secrets. The asylum, once a haven for the afflicted, now housed the lingering remnants of tortured souls. The boundary between the living and the spectral realm blurred, and I found myself at the mercy of forces beyond comprehension. I stumbled backward, desperate to escape the clutches of the unseen entity. The shadows converged, forming a nightmarish tableau that seemed to reflect the tormented history of the asylum. Faces contorted in agony flickered in and out of existence, their silent screams echoing through the corridors of time. My footsteps echoed through the hollow halls as I fled the basement, the oppressive darkness relenting only with each ascending step. The spectral whispers followed, a cacophony of tormented voices that seemed to beg for release from the eternal abyss. As I emerged into the one light of the asylum's main floor, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had glimpsed into the void, peering into a realm where the barriers between the living and the dead were tenuous at best. The abandoned asylum held its secrets close, and I, a mere trespasser in the realm of the supernatural, had unwittingly stirred the dormant spirits that lingered within. It was a mundane afternoon when I found myself wandering through the aisles of an antique store, drawn to the mystique of forgotten relics from times long past. Among the treasures that lined the dusty shelves, I discovered an old mirror that seemed to hold a certain allure. Its ornate frame spoke of an era gone by, and I couldn't resist the temptation to bring a piece of history into my home. Little did I know that the mirror harbored more than just reflections of the world around it. The evening sun cast a warm glow as I hung the antique mirror in my living room, its presence adding an air of nostalgia to the decor. For days, everything seemed normal, and I reveled in the charm of my newfound possession. However, the illusion of normalcy shattered one fateful night. As the clock struck midnight, an eerie stillness settled in the room. I caught a glimpse of my own reflection in the mirror, and what I saw sent shivers down my spine. My reflection, usually a faithful mimicry of my expressions, grinned malevolently, its eyes gleaming with an unsettling intelligence that transcended the mere act of mirroring. Fear clutched at my throat as I stared into the malicious grin that spread across my reflection's face. It seemed to revel in my terror, relishing the control it had over its own visage. Panic set in as I realized that this was no ordinary mirror, but a portal to something beyond the realm of understanding. The mirror spoke, its voice a sinister undertone that reverberated through the room. It whispered the depths of my fears, secrets buried in the recesses of my mind, unveiled by an otherworldly force. The words dripped with a malevolent knowledge, as if the mirror itself had become a conduit for the darkest corners of my subconscious. Desperation etched lines across my face as I tried to tear my gaze away from the haunting spectacle. But the reflection held me captive, its whispers growing louder, echoing the fears I dared not acknowledge. "You can't escape what's inside," it hissed, the words a chilling prophecy that hung in the air like a spectral mist. In a frantic attempt to break free from the mirror's hold, I covered its surface with a cloth, hoping to sever the connection between myself and the malevolent reflection. Yet, even in darkness, the mirror continued its torment, the whispers persisting like an indomitable specter. Sleep became elusive as the mirror's influence seeped into my every waking moment. The boundary between reality and nightmare blurred, and I found myself caught in a sinister dance with the supernatural. The antique mirror had become a conduit for the demons within, a gateway to a realm where the line between self and malevolent reflection dissolved. Haunted by the whispers that echoed in the silence, I grappled with the realization that the mirror had become a vessel for the darkness within me. Its insidious revelations forced me to confront the depths of my own fears, a journey into the shadows of my soul that I could no longer evade. The antique mirror, once a quaint relic of the past, had become a harbinger of the macabre, revealing the horrors that lurk beneath the surface of my consciousness. The malevolent grin persisted, an eternal reminder that some reflections are more than mere mirrors, they are portals to the twisted recesses of the human psyche. It was a gloomy afternoon when I stumbled upon a forgotten relic in the confines of my own home, a dusty journal tucked away in the corner of the attic. The brittle pages bore the weight of ages, and as I flipped through the journal, I discovered a chilling revelation. It contained a compendium of rituals, arcane incantations meant to bridge the gap between the living and the dead. The air in the attic seemed to grow heavier as I delved deeper into the pages, each entry chronicling the experiences of someone who had sought communion with the afterlife. The words spoke of forbidden knowledge, of rituals performed in the shadows to unveil the mysteries that separated the realms of the living and the deceased. Curiosity, that insatiable hunger for the unknown, gripped me. The journal's pages beckoned with the promise of secrets beyond mortal comprehension. Against my better judgment, I found myself compelled to test the boundaries of the supernatural. As night fell, I stood in the dimly lit attic, surrounded by the relics of bygone eras. The incantation, etched in archaic script, resonated through the stillness of the room. Each word carried an ancient weight, a resonance that transcended the material world. The air itself seemed to hum with an otherworldly energy as I completed the ritual. For a moment, nothing happened. The attic remained cloaked in silence, and I wondered if the words on the pages were nothing more than the fanciful creations of a deluded mind. But then, a subtle shift occurred, a whisper, soft as a breath, danced through the air. As I lay down that night, the shadows in the room seemed to take on life of their own. Whispers, like the echoes of distant memories, filled the air. Long-lost souls, imprisoned between realms, surrounded my bed, their voices carrying the weight of unfulfilled destinies and untold stories. The room became a conduit for the spectral chorus, a lamentation that transcended the boundaries of life and death. Their pleas for release resonated in the darkness, an ethereal symphony that spoke of a yearning to move beyond the shackles of the afterlife. I felt a chill in the air as the whispers grew in intensity. Faces, obscured by the veil of the unseen, materialized in the shadows, each bearing the mark of a life interrupted. The attic, once a sanctuary for forgotten relics, had become a nexus for the communion of souls. Torn between awe and terror, I listened as the voices entwined in a haunting melody. They spoke of unfinished business, of the yearning to cross over into the realm of the living. Their words painted a tapestry of sorrow, regret, and the timeless struggle for redemption. The night stretched on, the ethereal visitation lingering until the first light of dawn. As the first rays of sunlight pierced the darkness, the whispers faded, leaving behind an indelible imprint on the fabric of my consciousness. In the aftermath, I found myself haunted by the echoes of that spectral encounter. The dusty journal, now a forbidden tome of arcane knowledge, lay as a testament to the thin veil that separates the living from the dead. The attic, once a haven for forgotten relics, became a gateway to a realm where the cries of long-lost souls sought solace in the stillness of the night. The ritual, born from curiosity, had unveiled a world where the boundaries of life and death blurred, leaving me forever changed by the communion with the lingering spirits of the past.